So all these areas should be dangerous. We should avoid this area. And furthermore, people also have the impulse to, when someone kicks, to get back. If you manage to get back further, and so you're out of his radius of action, that's fine. But if you can, as closer to the head of his leg, of his foot, the more dangerous it is. So in this case, as we are attempting to have a very tight space, as we usually have in Jujutsu, what we do is this area, this volume is dangerous. However, this is not. The only danger part of his body, only dangerous part of his body you could think of is his hands, his elbows, his arms, and his head. He could try to strike us, that to hit us. So for us to avoid these two, what we do is it's this. We should always try to enter guarded, protected, always, always. However, in this sequence, when we come, we'll catch his legs. So we must do this. We must do this posture here. Just a transition posture. A posture we should use from here, from getting here until here. Until here. It is just a way that we could go from one point to the other with safety. So our checkpoint here should be, we have this by a very short, very close line. We have this part of our elbow and arm, forearm and hand protecting us. And also we should be from here to here, not from here to here. We should be positioned very close to him, like this. So this is our next checkpoint. So once we got in here, we enter with our shoulder, very, very close to him. We would actually try to strike him to hit him. And we'll take this leg and this leg, and we'll do this. Last detail we should notice here is, once we're here, this left arm of us will also provide a supporting point for us to do. Because in this timing he might be able to put his left back to the ground, over the ground. So we can say this arm acts as a locking point. But in this very short time, it will help us to keep us tight to him. We're doing this. The most common mistake here is trying to pull his feet towards you. Although you could even manage to put him down like this, you could even find some kaki, some fall in here. When he gets down, he would be with his legs inside your legs. For instance, eu vou chutar a face você, tá? Isso, aqui por fora. Aí puxa. para dentro agora para você. Vai. And so this guard should make your next movements much more difficult. So you are already doing it and trying to set the basis for your next movements. So to the side. Both his legs to the side. So you rotate. Actually, you have this angle. This knee comes here. We are bracing downward. You see, there is no need for grabbing, for holding, just supporting like this. And now, very slowly, I will go down. I'll take my body down, aiming more or less to where his head is aiming to, like this. And I'll stretch my body, and my left leg, my left foot will stretch his right leg, his right thigh, and this. The instructor should have his ideas and his tradition also being capable of understanding which are the most common mistakes and which angles and movements could potentially lead to injuries. In this case, in this particular case, once he falls, the reason for us to pulling his legs apart, outward our body, is that, as we just saw, if his legs are outward our body, he is less capable of defending himself. And it's more easy for us to set our feet and to set our following technique, our final lock. However, in this case, the kid should have a concern here, which is he's here. When I do this, even though his leg is outward, it's outside of my body. When I do this, if I find this angle, he'll have a very strong leverage over his femur and his thigh. So in this case, I should also be aware of how dangerous this angle might be for him once he's locked in all this center part of his body. And so for him, this angle is very dangerous and could lead very easily to injuries over his femur and his knee, his left knee. So he'll actually try to set this position. And in this point, it's very important for us that we're capable of setting this feet and this pressure downward. This cross, for us to be able to cross this line of his hara and enter pressing, so we can turn over this pivot. It's very important because when we are here, we could have this situation. So what happens is, he would also try to find this posture for him. So he tries to keep himself guarded and protected. And as you could say, he could try to regain or to reset his position with his hips. It's a very common practice and a very useful tool, very useful resource in Jujutsu. So, for instance, he comes and we reset our hip, and he comes from the other side and we reset again. Always looking forward, always guarding and protecting our odd parts of our body. This part should be always well protected. And so this could repeat, and definitely. And for us to avoid that, when we are in the position of tori, what we do is, so we got here. So instead of just moving from here to here, we must set a pivot above this cross, above this line. The cross, I mean, is this line of his hara and this line of my hara. You see, so once we are here, we know that he cannot find this angle because it could be very dangerous to him. But yet he could try to do this and to keep moving and resetting his position. So what we do is we enter very closely with this knee pressing downward, and then we put some real pressure here, and he feels this the back of his thigh, very stretched. So we keep this, it's tight here, and we put our body over the floor the closest we can to his head, to his shoulder, without hurting him, of course.